In a neon glow, circuits and code, Krypt0s whisper secrets on the digital road. Newsweek drops the top 3. Listen to the
This is Bug Bounty Newsweek, a refuge for those who walk on the edge of exploits, bypasses, and remote code execution, but also for those who feel the responsibility to protect information in an increasingly vulnerable world. Every week, we reveal real vulnerabilities, techniques that make a difference, and signals that could guide or bury your next hunt. I'm Krypt0s, and this is the voice that accompanies those who search through firewalls for what others don't want you to see.
In the city that never sleep, I sleep alone.
3:47 a.m. The coffee maker blinks red. Empty. The last of the grounds ran out 2 hours ago, along with any illusion that tonight was going to be short. The screen glows blue over a face that hasn't slept, lighting up a burp suite with more tabs open than excuses to stop. Outside, the city sleeps. Inside, a badly signed JWT doesn't. The AI token counter drops. 4,000, 3,000, 200. Every request to the model is a bet. Burn it confirming the hypothesis, or save what's left for when the real endpoint shows up. The caffeine is gone. The tokens are about to be gone. The only resource with no usage limit is stubbornness. And there it is. A parameter that shouldn't accept that value does. A response that should always take the same time doesn't. Somewhere in the business logic, the system lied just once. Once is enough. No coffee, no tokens, a CVSS score about to get written at 4 a.m, and a hunter who knows that this, exactly this, the edge between total exhaustion and the find, is the only drug that never stops working. Welcome to Bug Bounty Newsweek, episode 51. Main story. OpenAI names its new AI after cryptocurrency, and the market didn't let it slide. On June 26, OpenAI dropped the GPT-5, 6 family, Sol, flagship, Terra, balanced, and Luna, fast, cheap. New naming convention, generation number separated from capability tier, the idea being these 3 names persist as stable tiers instead of suffixes like pro or thinking that churn every release. Terra claims competitive performance with GPT-5 at half the cost. Sol ships with an ultra mode, running sub-agents for long horizon work, and set new benchmark highs in coding, terminal, bench 2.1, cybersecurity, exploit bench, and biology, gene bench v1. Now the juicy part. The rollout has its hands tied by the US government. At explicit request from the administration, citing national security implications, OpenAI is starting with restricted access for 20 pre-vetted organizations via API and codecs. No ChatGPT, no public waitlist, no self-service. OpenAI shared the models and release plans with the government before announcing, and went on record saying it doesn't want this state gatekeeping model to become the default for future launches. Translation: this is a short-term accommodation under current geopolitical conditions, not a feature. The detail nobody caught in the system card. All 3 models, not just Sol, landed in high-risk classification for both cyber and bio-chem capability. On internal CTF-style testing, Sol hit 96.7%, Terra 91.8%, Luna 85.2%. In other words, even the cheap model in the family now crosses a threshold that used to be reserved for flagships only. Then there's the naming problem. Sol, Terra, and Luna turned out to be, unintentionally, 100% crypto vocabulary. Sol is Solana's ticker, and Terra, Luna, is literally the name of the ecosystem that imploded in 2022, wiping out $40 billion and dragging Celsius, 3 Arrows, and Voyager down with it. Solana's official account didn't let the joke pass and replied with 2 words, Sam Altcoinman. It went viral within hours. Riding that wave of collective mockery, a parody post was circulating alongside the announcement, an invented boardroom scene at OpenAI where the team pitches progressively worse names until they land, on purpose, in the exact controversy they ended up in. It's pure satire, not real statements from anyone at OpenAI, but it works as a read on how the street took it. As a naming blooper that also happens to line up with the same regulatory gatekeeping pattern we've seen with other frontier models this year. To close the loop, this announcement lands just days after the industry was already hashing out export restrictions on frontier models. The ship it, government pumps the brakes. Negotiate reopening pattern is solidifying into the standard launch ritual for any top-tier model in 2026. Question for the listener. Are we watching a permanent compliance protocol for frontier AI get born? Or does this dissolve once the current regulatory, electoral window closes? Weekly bounty drama. Uztash versus Intigriti. Yunus Emre Uztash, at Insmarostas. Account permanently deactivated. Accuses Triagenid. Manner of incompetence. Asks them off his reports. No response. He gets banned instead. His counterattack. 800,000 plus internal files seen. 23 plus critical RCEs. Sequi left unaddressed. Threatens legal action in Belgian courts. Threatens to publish 60 plus DMs. Intigriti's response. Code of conduct violation. Accuses him of holding reports hostage. Nobody comes out looking good here. Zach Corman versus the Mythos myth. Zach Corman goes viral with the story. Mythos terrified Congressman Andrew Garbarino by draining a bank account in a demo. Joseph Thacker, ResZero, cuts in flat, doesn't buy that story as told, but his bot running with an excess doctor did take down a real bank 5 million records, PII included. Corman himself draws the line. Found vulns is not equal to live demo draining an account. That's where the exaggeration lives. Tib 3, Rias versus Solst. ICE of Astarte Defcon pricing. Tib 3 Rias, at 0x Tib 3 Rias, argues, Defcon has no realistic way to cut the price without breaking the event. Solst, ICE of Astarte, at ICE Solst, fires back directly. That's Black Hat, and I hate it. Defcon should be cheap by design. $580 for entry, convention center. Clash of visions, unresolved. Dave Kennedy accounts falling. Dave Kennedy, at Hacking Dave, reports a wave of researcher bans on X. No clear pattern. Hopes it's error, not trend. 0xSHA versus MRR. 3B00T. Fable unusable. 0xSHA. Fable 5 became unusable even for basic defensive tasks. Waiting on GPT-5. 6 Sol. MR. 3B00T. Daniel Card. The whole myths, fables, saga feels like a scam. Same pattern as always. Model sold as too dangerous, but so locked down it can't do real work. Imran Huda, the hunter who won't report for free. Imran Huda, at Imran Huda, 15 plus valid high critical vulns. Automated, sitting for a week. Reason, their VDP programs. No bounty, not interested in reporting for free. Ashen1, at Red1AG, asks if he's using autonomous AI. Huda confirms, only for triaging and escalation, not for the actual finding. The community applauds it. Smart. Open question. Legitimate stance, or public vulns left to rot. News. Polymarket. Mocked. Compromised. And 2 months later, got drained for $3. The thread compiled by International Cyber Digest sums up the full irony. Back in April, a hacker reported that Polymarket was compromised by accessing public API endpoints and on-chain data. The official account mocked it live. What VC paid you to post this? And framed public data access as a feature, not a bug. 2 months later, on June 25, a third-party vendor injected a malicious script into their front end. Result, $3M, drained from user wallets, converted to ETH. They confirmed the compromise themselves, contained the incident, removed the affected dependency, and are refunding impacted users. Podcast takeaway. Mocking whoever reports first isn't free. Save this one for the next time someone tells you, that's not a vuln, It's a feature. Polymarket Round 2. WSJ exposes the fake creator farm. In parallel, the Wall Street Journal dug into another Polymarket practice. They paid mostly college-age creators to film fake bets and fake wins, using near-identical clones of the real site for them to trade on. Typo squat domain, polymarket.com, swaps the capital I for an L. Hard numbers, 1,105 promoted videos reviewed, to 70% staging bets totaling $1, 9M, non-real. 118 clips showed creators winning roughly $900,000 on bets that would have actually lost more than $166,000. A marketing firm, Virality, amplified the clips through a network trained to look organic, reaching 140 M+ views. Target: US users accessing via VPN, since Polymarket has been barred from serving Americans since 2022. Perfect combo with the previous story. A platform spending on fabricated hype while its actual security is on the floor. Mythos keeps scaring Congress. New detail. Following up on last week's Garbarino story, International Cyber Digest adds that the congressman says 95% of his colleagues don't understand what the hell is going on with Mythos's capabilities. New detail added a separate jailbreak demo from an unspecified model, produced a plan to kidnap a lawmaker in 30 seconds. The technical community's response stays in the same skeptical lane we've been tracking. Underground satirizes, Mythos is a super weapon, while pointing at the real problem, trusted organizations still vulnerable to years-old CVEs, run by executives who won't fund anything unless Gartner puts it in a quadrant, while their Fortinet boxes run as nation-state APT Airbnbs. Zach Corman asks for something concrete to test the claimed capability, just not Vercel. The pattern repeating, episode after episode, high-level regulatory panic versus the technical community's constant ask of show me, don't tell me. Scattered Spider, another one, 9-year-old goes down, extradited from Finland. The DOJ confirmed the extradition of Peter Stokes, 19, dual US-Estonian citizen, charged in the Northern District of Illinois with conspiracy, computer intrusion, and fraud as an alleged member of Scattered Spider. The group has racked up 100+ intrusions and $100M+ in ransom payments. Key detail in this case: the only conduct specifically attributed to Stokes in the complaint is a May 2025 breach at a luxury jewelry retailer with an $8M demand that was never paid. Everything else is association with the group, not direct authorship of each intrusion. Operation Riptide, FBI, coordinated with Finland's National Bureau of Investigation and an Interpol Red Notice. The same international cooperation pattern we keep seeing every time this organization takes another hit. The campaign responds to $20 billion+ in reported cybercrime losses in the US last year. The morbid detail that blew up in the replies: Snapchat records showing the kid traveling to Paris, Italy, Spain, Germany, New York, Florida, New Mexico, Thailand, and Dubai, staying at luxury hotels between the ages of 17 and 18, with diamond-encrusted gold chains reading, "Hack the Planet." The usual Scattered Spider pattern: very young kids, easy money, ostentatious lifestyle, and zero operational security outside the hacking itself. The same people breaking critical infrastructure can't resist posting the loot. Empire State Building. Activists climb the antenna. Peace banner. Arrest. A color note to close out. 2 people scaled to the top of the Empire State Building and unfurled a banner from the antenna reading, "When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace." They were arrested shortly after. No connection to offensive security, but a good dark humor hook for the segment. Next time someone tells you your privilege escalation was risky, show them this. Tools. Bikini Exploitarium. Repo aggregating POCs for vulns with no CVE assigned yet, libsh2, curl, ffmpeg, nmap, nextcloud SSRF, n8nauth, SSRF, etc. With the report them yourselves, keep the credit pitch. Useful for farming CVEs if you get there before everyone else, already spawned forks with dedicated detection rules. Sentinel Defender. Hack for 0-day Obscura. Headless browser in Rust for AI agents. And scraping. Drop-in replacement for Puppeteer. Playwright. 30 megabytes RAM versus 200 plus MB for headless Chrome. Per session fingerprint randomization. GPU. Canvas. Audio. Battery. Native MCP server. To hook into Claude Code. Cursor. Good for recon at scale, without getting flagged on static fingerprints. Samigit 8.3 Redaemon. Agentic Red Team framework. Fully Dockerized. Recon exploitation post-exploitation. With an autonomous agent. Ships 46 reference skills. JWT. OAuth. IDOR. AD Kill Chain. Cloud. Integrate SQL Map. Nuclei. FUF. Nmap. And a purpose-built web cache poisoning engine. Everything runs in isolated containers. Zero host install. Parseltongue by Elder, Plinius, web-based toolkit that transforms prompts using 33 plus obfuscation techniques. LeetSpeak, ciphers, Unicode, bijection learning, to test how an LLM handles adversarial input. Useful for AI guardrail red teaming, not for actual production bypass. Think of it as a prompt fuzzer. CR Explorer by Jenish Sojitra. Free Chrome extension scanner. 36K plus scans. Flags hidden permissions and suspicious code patterns via CRX analysis. Plus an LLM layer. Supply chain attack vector still underrated. Security context.dv by Project Discovery. Database indexing. Fix history. Plus CVEs across thousands of open source repos. Delivered to an AI agent as ready-to-use context, what not to break, where to look for the next bug, free, no auth, via MCP or API. NetHook by TrueCyber, thick client tool, Hooks 9 network, crypto stacks, OpenSSL, Stanul, GNU2LS, Wolf SSL, NSS, WinSock, WiniNet, WinHTTP, FileEye, to capture traffic before it's encrypted. Modern Echo Mirage replacement for thick client pen testing with live intercept and modify. Schedule. Already closed. Passed. Frac CFP, #73, closed June 30. If you submitted, wait for a response. If you missed it, watch for the next call. frac.org/news. Faraday. Farad AI webinar. Continuous Attack Validation plus AI, Powered Triage. Happened Wednesday, July 1, 16 UTC3, with Fran Muller-Amato and Gabriel Franco. If you missed it, a recording will likely go up, follow the account. Upcoming, open. Echo Party, Buenos Aires, volunteer. Call open now, no published deadline. Apply via Google Form if you want to experience EKO from the inside. Hackle Valor Next Edition confirmed for August 29. First edition packed the rooms. This is round 2. Recommended videos and papers. Find comment get shell. Command injection in DBT's GitHub Actions. 042. In a reusable workflow. Peter Evans. Find. Comment matches on comment body, not author. The legit bot writes the marker. You beat it to the punch with your own comment before the bot posts. And that attacker, control text, lands unsanitized inside a bash conditional wrapped in single quotes. Confirmed command injection, exfiltration of, fish tone, bot, pat, content type override to stored XSS on public objects, Amir Mohammed Safari, Voravx team, image upload to S3 as a public object served behind a reverse proxy. If the proxy doesn't enforce the object's real content type, a file uploaded as an image gets served as text, HTML, and file stored XSS, even when the site's own implementation is solid. Team blog, the post is recent, search the index for the exact title. Longinus CVE 202-66307, 1 bug breaks renderer, plus V8 sandbox, Nebula security, type confusion. In turbofan giving arbitrary read, write with no heap spray, plus a V8 sandbox escape from the same bug, No second vol needed to chain. Found across 40 plus Chrome versions. Anthropic pulled covert fingerprinting code from Claude Code, the register coverage. A dev reverse engineered Claude Code 5.2, 1.196, and found hidden logic, present since April, that checked time zone, Asia, Shanghai, Urumqi, and Chinese AI lab domains, when a proxy was detected, encoding the result via Unicode steganography in the system prompt apostrophe variants. Date format. Anthropic confirmed it was an anti-resale, anti-distillation experiment, running since March, didn't deny it, and announced removal for the July 1 release. Worth it for the technical angle. Steganography and prompts as a side channel. Beyond the spyware framing some viral accounts pushed. Interview. How LLMs are changing bug bounty workflows. Justin Gardner. Rhinerator. Yes We Hack. How Claude Code unlocked one of his standout findings. Takeaway. AI removes friction from the process, but doesn't replace human judgment. Talks. By Seppa Talk with Eduardo Capetta. Bugs and Talks #3. Andres Gomez. At Red. Darkin. H1. Colombia Ambassador. Secure Spanish Bug Bounty National Team. Alexandro Brinditer. Jorge Cerezo. Serre. And Angel Montes. Noxious. How they won the Hacking World Cup. Bounty of the Week. Roberto Hungbo, from duplicate to full source code disclosure. Yes We Hack. It's not about the payout, €500. It's about the reflex. He finds an unauthenticated exposed file, reports it, gets closed as duplicate. Instead of stopping there, he applies the core bug bounty reflex. Once you find a vuln tied to a specific pattern, check whether other assets follow the same exposure logic. He reruns the pattern against other assets, and this time lands full source code disclosure, CWE 200, CVSS 7.5, high. The duplicate wasn't the end of the hunt, it was the data point telling him where to look next. That discipline, not discarding a finding just because it got closed as duplicate, and instead, generalizing the pattern, is the difference between a hunter who cashes out once and one who finds the real vuln behind the symptom. Reflections. This episode's closing reflections come courtesy of Chima Alonso, who quoted a passage from Galley Slave, written by Isaac Asimov in 1957. Soon the robots will take over original writing, source research, reference checking, perhaps even the deduction of conclusions. What will be left for the intellectual? 69 years later, that line didn't age like science fiction. It aged like a prophecy, past its expiration date. Today, the intellectual finishes the prompt, and the model does the rest. The writing, the research, the deduction. What's left for the intellectual is the question Asimov didn't dare ask. What if whoever deduces the conclusion also decides which conclusion is convenient? And the close comes from VX Underground, reminding us what skills used to look like. Old hackers used to fart at 2,600 hertzes to make free calls to Japan. That puts it in perspective. 5:52 a.m. The report is submitted. The coffee maker is still empty. The model's tokens ran out 20 minutes ago, right after confirming the hypothesis. That was enough. The rest was just judgment. Outside, it's not quite night anymore. That grey hour when nobody else is awake yet, and the find belongs to you alone, for a little longer, before it gets disputed, before someone says duplicate. The coffee maker gets refilled tomorrow. Tokens recharge next week. Stubbornness needs no refill. That's a wrap on episode 51. Save the timestamp every time someone laughs at your report. Polymarket already learned that lesson the hard way. Catch you next week. Keep hunting.